Dear white people, the first time I heard the term white privilege, I quickly took offense and rejected it, claiming, that doesn't apply to me, whatever it is. I don't have it. I grew up overseas. I grew up all around the world. I love other cultures and races. My best friends are Black and Asian women. That term is for other white people, not me. I have since begun my own journey with anti-racism work. And oh, how my eyes have been opened to a deep need for us white people to dig deeper. In a world based on white supremacy, so kindly termed colonialism, we as white people have lifetimes of work ahead of us to unpack this very dynamic. This dynamic that was created by white people, for white people to benefit from and never question. The definition of white privilege is an inherent advantage possessed by white people solely on the basis of their skin. So let's dig into some inherent advantages. And this time, I'd like to request some audience participation. These are questions for everyone in the audience, all backgrounds and races. By a show of hands, have you ever been the only person of your race or ethnicity in a room at an event? Thank you. By a show of hands, raise your hand if you have ever had trouble finding a color Band-Aid that matched your skin, or makeup, or nude bra or underwear. Okay, thank you. Raise your hand if you've ever felt afraid for your life when pulled over by the police. Okay, thank you. Raise your hand if you have ever been called a racial slur or demeaned in public for your race. Thank you. Thank you for your courageous participation. Any surprises here? Dear white people, this is white privilege. So what then is white fragility? White fragility is defined as discomfort or defensiveness on the part of a white person when confronted with racial inequality or injustice. White fragility can sound like, I'm not racist. That's their issue. Oh, come on. He didn't mean it like that. He's not racist. You're the one talking about race. You're a racist. I'm one of the good ones. I mean, I have an Indigenous friend. I don't see color. Oh, it's 2021. Racism no longer exists. I don't have white privilege. I grew up poor. When I began my own journey with anti-racism work, I went through deep feelings of anger, shame, regret, and fear. And I did not understand how I could be a part of the problem. And that was my white fragility coming out. Because as white people, we don't have to face it if we don't feel like it. We can change the channel when the Black Lives Matter movement becomes too much. We can brush off a racist comment from a family member. We can choose to not confront a racist friend because it would be too awkward or might even jeopardize the relationship. But then I realized my own silence was the issue. My unwillingness to study and learn about my role was the issue. I was complicit with it all because I was doing nothing about it. Dear white people, we can choose to feel attacked, or we can choose to lean in to the discomfort. The easiest thing we can do as white people is to stay on the merry-go-round called denial, as it is so much easier and more comfortable to see ourselves as separate from the issue. Dear fellow Toastmaster leaders, if you are inspired or in any way compelled to learn more and dig deeper into this topic, read Robin DiAngelo's book called White Fragility: Why It Is So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. This book has been a total game changer for me, and it is an incredible place to start. The unspoken rule that upholds white supremacy is to not talk about it, to never bring it up, and especially not insinuate any other white person might be complicit in it. I truly hope you will feel compelled to take a step to unpack this topic for yourself. And I will leave you with a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.